Matt never imagined his engagement would fall apart so quickly. Just a year ago, his fiancée Lily was the most affectionate and thoughtful person he knew. She'd leave him little notes, surprise him with his favorite snacks, and always listen intently when he talked about his day. But somewhere along the line, that version of Lily had faded, replaced by someone he barely recognized. She became incredibly demanding, expecting constant praise and validation for everything she did. The slightest imperfection, a dish left in the sink or a joke that didn't land, would trigger a barrage of criticism. Matt tried to be patient, telling himself it was just stress from her new job. He'd wrap his arms around her and say, "I appreciate you more than you know," but his words seemed to vanish into thin air. She would just shake her head and accuse him of taking her for granted, insisting he didn't truly see her worth. He found himself walking on eggshells, constantly trying to say the right thing to prove his love in a way that would finally satisfy her. It was exhausting, like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in it. Nothing he did was ever enough. Then came the morning that changed everything. He woke up to a long text message from her. It was a cold, formal announcement. She was blocking him on all platforms for a full week. Her reason? He needed to learn gratitude. The words hit him like a physical blow. Blocked? For a week? It felt less like a lesson and more like a punishment, a cruel power play. He was stunned, feeling a mix of confusion and profound disrespect. This wasn't a disagreement. It was a unilateral declaration of war on their communication. His first instinct was to fix it. He called her, but the call went straight to voicemail. He tried again. And again, nothing. He sent an email, pouring his heart out, asking what was really going on, pleading for them to talk. Silence. A knot of anxiety tightened in his stomach. Was this really about gratitude, or was something else happening? Lily had always enjoyed a bit of drama, a little game of push and pull, but this felt different. This felt extreme. He hoped it was just another one of her tests, one he could somehow pass. The first couple of days were agonizing. The silence was deafening. Every time his phone buzzed, his heart leaped, only to sink when he saw it wasn't her. He felt himself spiraling, so he called his best friend Daniel. After Matt explained the situation, Daniel didn't mince words. A 1-week block? Matt, that's not normal relationship behavior. That's a massive red flag. Reluctantly, Matt had to agree. Deep down, he knew this wasn't how a loving partner should act. His curiosity got the better of him. He couldn't contact her directly, but he could still see her public social media profiles. What he saw made his stomach churn. Lily was anything but distraught. She was posting story after story, out with friends, laughing, clinking glasses at a fancy bar. She was dressed in a way he'd never seen before, more daring, more performative. She looked happy, carefree even, as if her fiancé's being forcibly cut out of her life was the best thing that had ever happened to her. The disconnect between her apparent happiness and his own misery was jarring. Something was seriously wrong. He tried to stay rational, to fight the paranoid thoughts creeping into his mind. Maybe she was just overcompensating, trying to show the world she was fine, but it didn't feel right. Then, on the 4th day of the block, he got a text from a coworker. It was a simple, hesitant message. "Hey man, not trying to stir up trouble, but I think I just saw Lily at the Grove with some other guy. They looked pretty cozy." Matt's chest tightened until he could barely breathe. He didn't want to believe it. It had to be a misunderstanding. But combined with her recent behavior, the criticism, the block, the happy social media posts, it all started to paint a devastating picture. He spent the next 3 days in a fog of dread, waiting for the week to end. The moment the block was lifted, he confronted her. He tried to be calm, to ask without accusing. "A coworker said they saw you with someone else this week. Can you tell me what's going on?" Instead of an explanation, he was met with immediate, blistering offense. "How dare you spy on me? It's none of your business who I spend my time with." Her coldness was a slap in the face. She deflected, turning it all around on him. She accused him of being controlling, insecure, and suffocating. In that moment, Matt saw it with chilling clarity. The affection, the love he thought they shared, it was completely gone. All that was left was contempt. He stopped trying to fight and simply asked for the truth. "Lily, just be honest with me." She rolled her eyes, as if his request was the most tedious thing in the world. Then she admitted it. She had met someone new. She said she enjoyed the attention, the thrill of it. She told him, with a shrug, that she deserved to have some excitement in her life. Hearing those words, Matt felt the entire foundation of their relationship crumble into dust. There was nothing left to save. Calmly, he looked at her and said, "We're done. The engagement is off." Lily's reaction was explosive. Suddenly, the cool, indifferent woman was gone, replaced by a furious, shrieking victim. She accused him of abandoning her, of being too weak to fight for their love. The hypocrisy was staggering. A few days later, he went to her apartment to pack his things. The atmosphere was thick with tension. Lily barely acknowledged him, just sat on the couch, scrolling through her phone. That night, however, his phone lit up with texts from her. Suddenly, she was begging for another chance, blaming her behavior on stress and loneliness. She said she had made a terrible mistake. Matt read the messages but felt nothing but a profound sense of relief. For the first time in months, he didn't feel anxious. He didn't respond. About a week later, there was a knock at his door. It was Lily. She looked distraught, her eyes red from crying. She told him the other man had ghosted her, that he had just been using her for fun. She said she felt lost and alone and that she realized Matt was the only one who ever truly cared for her. She pleaded for forgiveness, for him to take her back. Matt listened quietly, letting her say everything she needed to say. But his mind was made up. He refused, gently but firmly. He told her that a relationship had to be built on mutual respect, and she had shattered his. Lily cried, but eventually she left. Closing the door, Matt felt a final sense of closure. He began to heal. He reconnected with Daniel and his other friends, hit the gym, and poured his energy back into his hobbies. Slowly but surely, he rediscovered his confidence and his sense of self. Months passed. Lily would send occasional messages, testing the waters, but Matt would either ignore them or give a polite, brief reply. He no longer felt any emotional tie to her. Looking back, he didn't feel anger, just a deep sense of gratitude. He had escaped a future filled with chaos and manipulation. He had chosen himself, and in doing so, he had found a peace he never knew was possible. He had finally embraced a life of his own making. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more content.